the creatures on the earth that can appreciate time, it is the human being. Some people call the past history. That's what history is, the past. I was on a radio program, and we was talking about slavery. 400 years of slavery in America. What we was talking about was not outside of America. We kept it in America. And a person called in and said, I'm tired of hearing people talk about the past. I said, well, that's what history is, the past. We're talking about history. How you not going to talk about what have happened so you can learn from it? So people think if you don't talk about a problem, it make it go away. It ain't went nowhere. So if you read the Quran from Al-Fatiha to An-Nas, from the first surah chapter to the last, you will read about history. You read about Pharaoh. You read about Moses. You read about these great empires. Why Allah want us to know about that? So we cannot be like them in some cases. And in other cases, so we can be like them. Because some of them are success stories. But when Allah talked about he opened up the earth and caused the whole city to go into the earth and then caused the earth to come back together. And we don't even know where that city is today. He's teaching us. So again, let us be aware of time. Let us be conscious of time. And let us use time to our advantage, where we never have to say, I regret doing this or I regret doing that. If we use our time wisely, there would be no regrets. We would be happy in how we use our time. And I think all of us, we can improve how we use our time. A lot of our time is wasted. No accountability. You can't even account for it. We see people on the corner, standing on the corner as though if they leave, the corner going to flop up. How they going to account for that time that they was on that corner? What they do with it? Allah going to question you. I gave you time. How did you use the time? It was a gift. It was a blessing for me to you. How did you use it? And we want to be able to say we use it to the max. We use it in the best manner, not the worst. So it's really not how long you live. It's how well you live. It's the quality, not the quantity. The quality of life. And the best quality of life are those who submit themselves to do the will of Allah. That's the best quality of time. So let us not be people who abuse time, who take it for granted. As my daddy used to say, boy, if you don't be careful, you'll be late for your own funeral. And I said, Daddy, what you mean by late for my own funeral? He said, well, everybody's present waiting on you. So all these people, what you here for the funeral? What's holding it up? The body. The body is not here yet. So even with death, you made everybody late. So let us be grateful for time. And let us always reflect. You know, 2/3 of the Quran help us to reflect. As they say today, think about it. Think about it. God said, think, for surely thinking benefit the thinker. And surely those who don't think, they are losers. So we have to think so we won't do the same thing the same way. I learned from that. I acknowledge I did it, but I won't do it the same way again. I learned from it. And that's why many old people tell young men, I used to be just like you, but I don't want you to end up like me. Leave that liquor alone. Leave them drugs alone. Because this person is messed up from using drugs and alcohol, and they're telling a younger man, don't do what I did. So dear believers, beginning next Friday, we'll be having Jumu'ah at 1 o'clock. The only reason we didn't have it at 1 o'clock today, we failed to make the announcement to you last week, and I believe it would have caused more confusion since we didn't announce it last Friday. But, you know, I thought about it. I said to myself, There are people coming to this masjid today and they think jumu'ah starts at 1 o'clock. Maybe we should continue to trick them for them to be on time. But as a Muslim, we can't trick you. But it sure got you here early, I tell you. Got to tell them to get here at 1 o'clock to be here by 1:45. What is this, man? 1 o'clock mean 1 o'clock. But I was looking at the people coming thinking Jumu'ah was at 1 o'clock. Now listen to this. They thought it was at 1 o'clock now, and they got here at 1:15. And then when I told them 1:45, they said, phew. That was early. They thought they were late. And let us try to work harder to come to the Jumu'ah on time. You know, there are certain people so far this year that never made Jumu'ah on time. They made it on that job on time. They're supposed to have been there at 7 o'clock. They were there at 6 o'clock, took a nap in the car. They're making sure they don't be late on that job. So how valuable is Jumu'ah to you? Every Friday you late, not sometimes, every Friday you late. That tell me it don't mean much to you. This Jumu'ah, it don't mean much to you. We really should be early. When you get real good, you're early for the Jumu'ah because you value it. Yeah, you want to hear that first adhan, the first call. So again, let us work on coming to the Jumu'ah on time and take the rush out of it. And rushing is not from Allah, it's from the devil. If you live in Atlanta, you know what time of day it is, and you know what time it takes to get from point A to point B in Atlanta. And you have to learn to knock off so you can be at the Jumu'ah on time. In our closing, dear believers, let us make time Abdullah. Make time our servant. People get paid by the hour. People get paid by the day. Some people get paid every 2 weeks. Some people get paid once a month. All of that is when the framework of time, $15 an hour, $30 an hour. Why do people pay you by the hour? Because they know time is valuable, and I can't and will not pay you what you actually is worth. So I'm going to give you $15 an hour, but I'm making money off of you. But let me give some kind of token of appreciation for taking up your time. You go to the doctor, many times they got to sign up. You go to the lawyer, you got to sign up. Every 30 minutes, there's a fee. 1 hour, there's a fee. So if we can look at time in that sense, it's valuable, then whenever you start dealing with time, you will see it as valuable. Not something cheap, a valuable commodity. See it as valuable. My time is valuable. When I go to the college campuses, I always tell the students, one promise I make to you when I come before you, I promise I will not waste your time. And I want you to promise me you won't waste my time. A mutual agreement. And I don't charge any money. I just ask you to pay attention. That's it. And we begin our program. But time, if you're foolish, it means nothing. At the end of the day, zero accomplishment. It's only 24 hours in a day. This is what they round it off to, 24 hours. Really 23 hours, 56 minutes, and 46 seconds. And at the end of the day, you want some accomplishment. At the end of the week, accomplishment. At the end of the month, accomplishment. At the end of the year, accomplishment. But if you're not valuable time, it go by, you have nothing to show. Nothing at all. You be questioning somebody. You sure you 75 years old? You sure? Yeah, I'm 75. And you don't have a house? You don't have a car? You don't have a wife? You don't want none of these things? You sure you 75 years old? You sure you've been on this earth 75 years? Come on, man. Come on now. Because you're supposed to have some accomplishment. So nobody should look for short life. Everybody should be looking for long life. Nobody should be seeking to take their life. The righteous people want long life so they can do more good deeds, so that scale will be heavy with more good deeds. The wicked person want long life so I can ask Allah to forgive me for some of these sins I did and try to replace them with some good deeds. So no one should wish for short life.